Hello Aquarius, and welcome to Mama Juju Tarot. This is Penny, and I will be doing your November general reading for your overall reading, or for your overall energy rather. You got North Node, which is life purpose, and the purpose of our lives is to be happy. That's the overall theme or thought. The North Node points out the best areas for us to direct our talents and our wills. The North Node shows the areas of our gifts. It represents destiny. It's directly opposed to the South Node, which is much more serious and restrictive. The North Node represents where we benefit from good work done in past lives and how that assists us in the here and now. The North Node is the place in the chart where life becomes easier. It acts like a karmic Jupiter, which is a planet of abundance and expansion and gifts, your blessings. Anyway, it acts like a karmic Jupiter, where a doorway opens and suddenly you're where you need to be. When the North Node card presents itself in a reading, you can be assured destiny has a place in your situation. There are many life lessons. You are about to arrive at a place for your highest good. Your life is expanding and opportunities pouring swiftly, catching you quite by surprise. This card also represents past life memories and karmic connections. You may meet people whom you've known over many past lives, perhaps in a soul family where bonds form very quickly. You're taking on a larger view of your life, which not only emphasizes your talents, but aligns your talents with like-minded souls. It's fortuitous, or it's a very fortunate time, to begin a privately owned business or other professional venture. That will it'll bring in extra finances. Whatever this venture is, it's going to be fun. It's have a lot of creativity and optimism. At this time, you will feel less limited, and your goals and plans will have far-reaching potentials. Keep in mind the lunar nodes always bring shifts and changes. For instance, a relationship with someone who has destiny spelled all over him or her may suddenly walk into your life. If so, this relationship will start rapidly and will be life-altering. One job may end swiftly, and you'll find yourself in a much more suitable position. If the energy is used correctly, it will promote greater optimism and prosperity. This means finances are also likely to increase. This energy is now telling you that the schooling part is over for now. Lessons have been learned, and you are now to act on these lessons towards a greater destiny. At this time, it is evident where you need to go and where you need to be. As a soul's messenger, the appearance of the North Node, it indicates growing into what is called the larger unknown, meaning you're moving towards a point that promises greater fulfillment. The nodes are karmic, therefore the lessons are not easy ones. Matters will develop suddenly, but there is still work to be done. Luck is on your side with an opening towards greater things. Karmic lessons learned in process bring fulfillment and happiness. This will bring about positive karma, rewards, the soul's enlargement, being in the right place at the right time. So, that is your overall energy. Your first card out you got is the Three of Swords, which represents the sign of Libra. You could have Libra placements in your chart, or you could be dealing with a Libra sun, moon, or rising. You may be feeling deeply hurt and disappointed by hurtful words, actions, and intentions. This was an action that came out of the blue, having made the situation all the more hurtful. Although you may have experienced a major setback or loss, it is important to allow yourself the opportunity to experience or express these emotions, to actually feel them and feel them deeply, as sadness is a part of the healing process. Pain and sorrow and grief are all necessary parts of life. Without pain, we would never experience the challenges required to grow and develop as a person into who we're meant to be. We would never become our next best version of ourselves. Every hardship creates discomfort, which inevitably turns into an opportunity to grow and to develop as a person. The question you must ask yourself is, can you see this experience as the development or learning opportunity that it is? Will you take this experience and allow it to mold you into your next best version, into your greatest self? Life always extends with each experience the opportunity to be a victor or a victim. But it's your choice. You're always given the choice. It's time to make a decision. You know, I always love the quote, she wasn't looking for a knight, she was looking for a sword. I think that applies here. You guys aren't looking for someone to rescue you. You've come to the point, I mean, maybe in the past you were or have, but you come to the point where you know your power, you know how to wield the sword appropriately. She was forever unexpected, and I was drunk on that about her. I think that's what often why others are so drawn to you, because you're different. You're an Aquarius. I mean, you know, yes, you march to the beat of your own drum, but it's more than that. Aquarians are the last of the great eccentrics. They can make weird look chic, because you guys can own it. Weird is only weird because if you're awkward in your execution of it. If you own your freak flag, if you own your weird, you can be a trendsetter. People wish they could be that weird and make it look that cool. You know what I'm saying? My point is, you know, I have always loved poetry. Always have. And when asked why I have such an affinity with poetry, I simply state because it reminds me of myself and everyone else if they were transparent, honest, and secure enough in themselves to be real. You see, one of the characteristics of poetry is that it's a unique language that combines and uses words to convey meaning and communicate ideas, feelings, sounds, gestures, signs, and symbols. Poetry can reveal many things to its readers, but it can also conceal many things as well. As do we all, or can we all? You see, poetry is the only thing I've ever encountered that so eloquently portrays the human condition. It shows us that there is still beauty in darkness. And poetry taught me that true power can only be acquired through pain. And the very acquisition of such is the only thing in this life that cannot be taken from us. Because there's a process and there's a pain associated with acquiring your power. When someone truly owns their power and stands in that, nobody could take that away from you, even if they wanted to, but they're not going to try. Not someone that owns it. I mean, because there's a confidence that comes with that most people don't possess. Because most people have not been willing to take the road less traveled. People are so afraid of pain. But if they actually knew what was on the other side of that, they wouldn't be. Because the person you've always wanted to become and be is on the other side of that pain. Turn it into your power. Our pain is our power. It can be. It's about transmutation. We talk about transmuting energy, or maybe not everybody. I do. I talk about it a lot. Transmuting energy, manipulating energy, working with energy, things of it. But we talk about it external to ourselves, and the only way we can ever truly manipulate or bend energy, be an airbender, or whatever, is if we can possess the energy or control it within ourselves first. That's the part a lot of people miss. They want to skip steps. No, there's no shortcuts here. Not on this part. It took me years to understand that I think, what poetry truly was talking about. You have to really listen. You have to really feel it. Someone I loved once gave me a box full of darkness. It took me years to understand that this was a gift. That's by an American poet named Mary Oliver. So, poetry is not everybody's deal, but I think it is somebody's deal. Because as soon as I started doing your reading, which I'm very much into, I would always say that I have a poet soul. But yeah, the road less traveled. I started. I started thinking about that whenever I started doing your reading. So anyway, I think someone is either a writer or you've recently read the road less traveled, because the road less traveled, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's about nonconformity. It's about taking the road less traveled, about being yourself and being authentic and true to yourself, and that does require taking or choosing the road of nonconformity, and it speaks to not choosing the road with a trail, but blazing your own. I'm paraphrasing, but anyway, and that's kind of it is the transformation. It's a shift that you guys are going through this month. The next card out, High Priestess, signifies spiritual enlightenment, inner illumination, divine knowledge and wisdom. Right now, the veil between you and the spiritual realm is very thin. Therefore, you have the opportunity to access this knowledge. Now is the time to be still and tune into your intuition. The answers you seek will come from within, from your deepest truth and internal knowing. Your intuitive and psychic senses are proving they're proving to be useful. They're providing you with useful information, allowing you to become more in tune with your subconscious mind. Now is a time of heightened intuitive abilities or intuition and psychic abilities. Some of you may realize that you possess the gift of claircognizance, which is a psychic gift. It's clear knowing. It's one of the newer clairs, but you just know stuff. You just be knowing shit. You be knowing stuff about things that you've never even heard of, you've never done, but you just know. Some of the characteristics are, you may get called a know-it-all a lot, because you do know. You do know it all, usually. You know quite a bit. And people are always wondering how you know stuff that you really have no, you probably even wonder how you know things. But anyway, so you guys may possess claircognizance or come into the understanding that you do possess that gift. You're going to be getting downloads. You're just going to be knowing things. And so anyway, and this card is here to let you know that you're on the right path. The more you listen to your intuition, the more information can flow through you. And see, and that's the thing, is we don't use our gifts use us. I always say that. We're a vessel. We're a vessel. But we cannot channel the energies appropriately or use them appropriately or even have access to their full gifts, not in their totality, until we understand that. Until we understand the flow. Until we can get into flow state. And until we realize that we're not in control of the gift is in control of us. Next card out, Seven of Swords, card of Aquarius. It's speaking to you, unless you're dealing with another Aquarius, but it's speaking to you. There's a need to be strategic in all that you do at this time. You know that you cannot do everything all at once, nor should you. Instead, you understand that you need to prioritize what's important to you and direct your focus and attention on the few tasks that will move you closer to your goals. It's the 80-20 rule, as 20% of your work will account for 80% of your results. So focus on the 20% that matters. Prioritize strategically, methodically. This card also suggests that you may need to use shortcuts or the back door to get what you want at this time, rather than dutifully following the process. You may need to find ways to resolve your problems quickly so you can move towards your goals. For example, you may need to think on your feet and act in a way that isn't exactly above board to get shit done right now. And sometimes you got to do that. And I know that you guys don't do that all the time, but sometimes, you got to be able to prioritize and call it. Then you got the Six of Swords, which is Aquarius, is you again. You're in a state of transition, leaving behind what's familiar to you and moving towards the unknown. You might be moving to another house, moving houses, leaving a relationship, changing a job, going through a rite of passage or a mental shift. This change may be of your own doing or forced upon you, and you may feel sad to leave behind what's familiar to you. You know that this move is essential for your growth and personal development. The sadness over what is lost or released will soon be replaced by greater mental clarity and renewed acceptance of change, and you will become a better person as a result. You're being encouraged to let go of anything holding you back, be it people, places, or things, and choose the path that is most in alignment with your highest and greatest good. Then you got the Queen of Swords, card of Libra. You'll be dealing with a Libra. You have Libra placements in your chart. You possess the gift of intellect and unbiased judgment while remaining flexible and open to receive input from other sources as you lead from the head and not the heart. In doing so, you're better able to discern situations without the influence of emotion or sentimentality. You may believe that empathy or compassion towards others will distract you from the task at hand. Y'all got time. Y'all got shit to do, apparently. No, but that's good. Yeah, because you think that emotions just get in the way. That you believe that emotions, feelings are just an unnecessary inconvenience. And you don't really, you like to keep it, you want to keep it neat. You don't want any inconveniences, especially not of the emotional nature. Aquarians in general, aren't fans of emotions. You're an air sign. You're all about the intellect. You're very cerebral. And emotions are an inconvenience to you because they don't make any sense to you. Emotions don't make sense to you. And plus, many of you have probably been taught or even embraced the theory or the notion as you come into your own that your heart will get you in trouble. When you make decisions based on emotion, you make poor choices. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying that it's what many of you feel. That's how you feel. That's how you believe. You may believe that empathy or compassion towards others will distract you from the task at hand. Instead, you prefer to know the how, the what, the why, the where, the when, the who of everything to help you make sense of your environment and better understand others. It's not that you don't care about others, but you connect with other people through an intellectual understanding rather than an emotional one. You're a truth seeker. You're open to hearing the thoughts and opinions of others, but ultimately, you will filter that information and you're going to decipher what's true and what isn't, and you're going to be the judge of that. When interacting with others, you will not tolerate mistruths. You prefer to get to the heart of the matter without engaging in too much chit-chat or gossip. It's another thing, you guys aren't real big on small talk. And get to the point. I mean, is there a point to this conversation? Can we get to it? Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, and I'm the same way. I hate small talk. Because, I mean, time is money. Waste time. Chop, chop, let's go. I mean, because there's a point. Because, there's a saying, or there's a quote, I think it's by, was it Gregory Poe? That once you learn to love yourself, once you learn to appreciate yourself, you begin to value, once you begin to learn to value yourself, you value your time, and you value how it's spent, something like that, but you get the point. But yeah, I mean, I remember it. Until you value yourself, you won't value your time. Until you value your time, you will not do anything with it. There you go. It's M. Scott. I think it's Pierce. I think. But anyway, but yeah. So you guys aren't really big on wasting your time because you value yourself and you value your time. You got things to do with it. Time is, because people don't. I look at resources differently than many others do. Time is, to me, the most important and the most valuable resource because you can't get it back. You can't get it back. And how you wield it and how you use your time. I mean, you can change your life or you can waste your life with it. So, anyway, you guys aren't about wasting your time on people, places, and things that don't matter. And you're also not wasting your time on emotions because you guys know what you're good at. You're good at your cerebral processes. You're good at, your intellect. You're very intelligent. Your brain is like a little computer. That's why that's your greatest attribute. It's your most viable skill set. So that's what you're good at. And you know what you're not good at, and that is the emotional realm, not so much. You're human, and so you dabble in it, but it's not your go-to. And that's not why people come to you. If someone really wants, to be loved on and really just be cuddled and nurtured, Aquarius isn't the person you're going to go to. You can go to a Cancer, you can go to a Scorpio, you can go to a Pisces. If you want someone that can put a computer together, program it, or help you to, strategically place yourself and then execute seamlessly and methodically a plan or business strategy. Aquarius, we're the elder air sign. We're going to be who you come to. We know what we're good at. And it doesn't hurt our feelings because we know what we're not good at. That's the thing about when you know yourself. Some people, it hurts your feelings. Well, a weakness is a weakness for a reason. It's because it's a weakness. And it's something that needs to be developed. But it hurts people's feelings whenever that's pointed out. Why? I don't look at things as a fault. They're areas of opportunity. What most people will look at as a weakness or a fault or something negative, all it is an area of opportunity. It's an opportunity to become badass at that too. But it all comes first with acknowledging that and being able to be honest with ourselves. So, there you go, for whatever it's worth. Then you got Empress, the Empress card. Could be dealing with a Taurus or a Libra. The Empress signifies abundance. You have everything that you need to live a comfortable life. You're in a period of growth in which all you've dreamed of is now coming into fruition. It's important to take a moment to reflect upon the life that surrounds you and offer gratitude for all that you have created, because you've co-created that with universe, with God, Source, Spirit, Universe. Remember to have humility. Yes, you created that, but you co-created that. None of us can manifest abundance on our own. It's collaborative effort. So, that being said, take the time to express gratitude, to be humble, to come from a place of humility, so that you can continue to manifest and build on this energy and create even more abundance in your life. Then you got the Four of Pentacles, which is Capricorn, card of Capricorn. Either you have Capricorn placements in your chart, likely. You could be dealing with one, but most likely you have Cap placements. You're being asked to examine your relationships with money. Oh, y'all love that money. But, especially, Four of Pentacles is the card of Capricorn. Your Capricorn placement. Personally, Capricorn is in my Mars in the 10th house. Anyone who's well versed in natal charts and astrology, yeah. So yeah, you're being asked to examine your relationship with money, because Capricorn. Every sign has a lot of great attributes, and then there's other parts of each sign that, if they come from a lower a lower vibration, or an unevolved, if it's an unevolved part of your personality, or that sign even, that aren't so great, that need to be worked on. So, are you accumulating wealth and investing your money wisely while still enjoying your day-to-day life? Or are you desperately clinging to every dime, afraid to spend your money out of fear that you don't have enough? Are you afraid that you'll lose everything? Does your identity, your self-worth, and your ego, do they all stem from material abundance, wealth, and things? Do those identify you? Would you feel like you were inadequate if, you didn't drive a certain type of car, or a certain type of clothes, etc.? Do those things define you? And if so, ask yourself why. Because if they do, then you lack self-love. You're operating from a place of scarcity mindset, especially with money and material possessions. See, money is energy. Money works best when it can flow freely and be exchanged, not when it's being stockpiled, controlled, or possessed. I don't like to be controlled or possessed. Neither does money. If someone tries to control or possess me, as soon as I get away, I ain't coming back. And money, the frequency of money, the energy of money, same way. It's like, hell no. I ain't going back to that bitch. As soon as I get out of her hands, I ain't going back. She won't let me go. Right. Don't be greedy. Don't be miserly. Be gracious. It's all about being giving. But give from a good space. We don't have to worry that we won't have, because the universe will always conspire to work in our favor. Once we have that relationship with energy and with source, with universe, and with spirit, we will always be provided for. Anytime you try to control your life, it'll be fear-based. And you will begin to see people, places, and things as attachments and possessions, including money, which leads to scarcity mindset because it'll give you reason to be afraid. So don't do that. Deep down, you may realize that you're foregoing happiness and fulfillment in your life because you do not want to spend any of your money, and you have sold out to an overly safe approach to life. Where have you played it too safe? In Aquarius, that's not even our bag. That's not even our nature. I mean, that's Cap nature. I'm playing Cap. I love you, Cap. You guys probably have Cap in your sign. But regardless, Aquarius and Capricorn, I mean, it's co-ruled by Saturn. Saturn, the taskmaster, the ruler of karma. Saturn don't play that. And you know. And that's the reason any lessons that we learn through the sign of Capricorn or anything associated with Capricorn are going to be tough lessons. And they're going, because Saturn is militant. He's militant. And he's like a gym coach. Again, until you learn the lesson. And he don't give a shit. He's merciless. I mean, he's not Jupiter. I mean, he's not like, oh, you're gonna get it right. You don't get it right, and your ass gonna get some karma. You put some karma on that ass until you get it right. See, that's what you always tell people that don't have a lot of, I have a lot of Aquarius and Capricorn in my chart. So me and Saturn, I mean, that's El Patron. I mean, I know. And I don't fear Saturn, but I have a healthy respect for Saturn because I know what he's capable of. But there are those that aren't very familiar with Saturn nor karma. And you can always tell the ones, because I'm like, I'm like, you can do what you want. You've been warned. It's coming. I mean, we're in karma season right now. I mean, we're in Scorpio season, so we're in the midst of it as we speak. So it's coming around the bend. My point is if you come from a healthy space, if you treat others, including people, places, things, money, energy, whatever, with respect, the way you would want to be treated, that's how you relieve that karmic debt. That's how I call it karmic residue. I mean, that's how you clear the books. Is not to accrue any bad karma. I mean, there's good karma. I'd rather have good karma. Because it's about that juju you put out there. You put good juju, you put bad juju. Either way, whatever you put out there, the universe will give it right back to you, and then some, depending on your attitude and the way you treated others. I don't know. Some people don't get that either. But the lesson here is to honor and respect money, but don't become so attached to it that you lose sight of what's most important, and that's love and happiness. Love and happiness, that's right. Care and happiness. It's all in energy. That then manifests into material matter. It all starts with a thought. It all starts with an energy that we create. Then you got Page of Cups, Pisces. You either have Pisces in your chart or you're dealing with one. A new idea or opportunity will be or has come out of the blue. You're being called to trust your intuition and be open to a multitude of intuitive messages coming your way. Look for signs from nature that will guide you along your path. They may come from unexpected places and likely will. Or these messages may not make sense to your rational mind. Only to your subconscious mind will they truly make sense. But do not discard them because they don't make sense on a cerebral level, on a logical level. Be open to the possibilities anyway. Be open to the possibility and be ready to discover new aspects of yourself. It's like following intuitive breadcrumbs. One intuitive clue leads you to the next, and the next, and the next. And before you know it, you found yourself in a place of complete alignment and happiness. All you have to do is trust the universe. They'll show you the way. They always do. Then you got Page of Pentacles. Again, Capricorn. You guys got Capricorn in your chart. You're dealing with one. I think you have it in your chart, though. You will be... oh, and right quick, side note. This is a download I just got. Some of you guys have really strong energy. Some of you... and it could be your planetary placements. Some of it's just your energy. Some of you, people feel you before you walk into a room. Or when you walk into a room. They feel you. They feel your energy. You have a very strong presence. And it is very intimidating to some. And although you don't mean it to, many of you have, you've been told your whole life that you have a strong energy or strong presence, yet you never have fully understood what that means because you haven't met a you. I think you will be. So you'll have a firm understanding of what that feels like or what that means. So, anyway, just side note. Also, your energy is different than okay, if you're a woman, it's not that you have balanced yin and yang, masculine and female, or masculine and feminine energy. You're being asked to get more in tune with your feminine energy, but you will always, it's not that your masculine and feminine energy is unbalanced. It's just that you will always have a strong presence because you're very powerful beings. You have really strong energy. You're very powerful. So, that's for somebody out there. Anyway, you're going to be tapping into your ability to manifest a personal goal or dream, and may find yourself amidst a new project or business venture. You're going to be excited about the possibilities and potential of what you put your mind to, knowing you can create whatever you want with focused intention and action. And that's why I went on and on about your energy. You guys, some of you guys do spell work or whatever you want to call it. I mean, you can manipulate energy. You don't really need to do spell work because most of it is a mental exchange. It's all your energy because you're in such control and have such a you just have such utter control and gravitas in executing your intentions because you understand it's mind, heart, body. I mean, you understand that it's all has to work as one, and so you guys don't need to cast spells. It's you manipulate energy and you make things happen with your thoughts. Whoever I'm talking to will know what I'm talking about with this. So anyway, you know that you can create whatever you want with focused intention and action. Because your power, your magic comes from your focus. You know what I'm talking about. So that's what that's speaking to. Six of Cups, Scorpio. This card shows an increased level of harmony and cooperation in your relationships. You're ready to give and receive without expectation. You're also willing to give each other the benefit of the doubt. Having moved on from challenging emotions, you'll be turning over a new leaf and starting afresh with from a more positive place than in the past. You may be dealing with the Scorpio or have Scorpio in your chart. Speaking of Scorpio season, anyway. King of Swords, Aquarius, this is you. You're being encouraged to use your logic and intellect to navigate the path ahead. You'll be required to make firm and well-researched decisions and remain fair in your decisions with others. You need to be capable to take any situation and allow yourself to look at it with total impartiality and then come to a balanced and insightful decision You likely have a solid reputation and a vast amount of knowledge in a particular field. And that field could even be esoteric knowledge. I mean, it can be straight practical, but it can be spiritual, esoteric, occult knowledge. Some of you guys can practice witchcraft. I mean, whatever, however you roll. Some of you are masters in some specific area. You have a vast amount of knowledge in a particular field, at least one. At this time, you may come across as detached or disinterested in the personal circumstances of another unless it relates specifically to your skill set, because y'all trying to get shit done. Y'all trying to master your craft. And if anything is going to take you away from that focus or isn't going to add to, your tool belt, you're really not even really interested in it right now. Which, that's the thing about Aquarius. Aquarius, you are some focus. When it comes to mental focus, you guys have the most command of your mental focus. And my aunt used to ask me all the time how I could ignore people and things the way I do. Flat out ignore somebody or something. And I used to always tell her, because not everything deserves my attention. Later on, she realized what I was talking about. Because what we give attention to, we give power to. So not everything deserves our attention. Right? Right. Okay. So, and once you value yourself, you value your time. Once you value your time, you're not going to waste it, because you got things to do with it. Okay. And that may sound cruel to some people, but it's the people that don't have goals, that aren't on a mission. We're on a time schedule. It's crunch time, guys, and we know that intuitively, energetically, psychically. Not everybody knows that. That's the other thing about Aquarians. Aquarians, people think we're crazy. It's just because they don't make any sense to other people what we're doing, because we don't explain what we're doing, because we don't need to, because we know what we're doing. And we're like, well, they'll find out what we're doing, later on. Because if I try to explain it to them, they're not going to understand. I can show them better than I can tell them, type deal. And anybody's around Aquarius for any amount of time knows that. But anyway, so to my point, that's what I'm talking about. You get the Seven of Pentacles, Taurus. You understand the value of putting time and energy into long-term rewards and have a desire to invest in sustainable results. You're not looking for quick wins. Slow and steady wins the race. Because quick wins, you're susceptible to error. You want perfection. You want it executed seamlessly. So you're not interested in quick wins. You also want to ensure that you're putting your attention on the right areas instead of wasting time and effort on tasks that will not deliver any value. You want ROI. You want a return on your investment. What's your investment? Your time. Your time. That's why I talk so much about time. You want a return on your investment. So, then you got Wheel of Fortune. This card is known as the Wheel of Karma, speaking of karma, and reminds you that what goes around comes around. So if you want happiness and abundance, make sure you're sending out positive juju. What you send out to the universe will come back to you. You're being asked to be optimistic and have faith that the universe will take care of your situation in the best way possible. And it will. It will. I always just let God's Holy Spirit fight my battles for me. Karma has a very impressive turnaround time. It's a very expeditious return with the appropriate motivation. You got Nine of Pentacles, Virgo. You have worked hard to create abundance in your life. Now you can finally enjoy the fruits of your labor. Thanks to your independent efforts, self-confidence, and discipline, You have attained a well-deserved success and have created a stable foundation for your material wealth and comfort. This also speaks to financial independence. You have achieved this by your own actions and efforts. This is the I'm rich bitch. They're the independent woman card, I always call it. It's also a card of Virgo. You have Virgo in your chart, you're dealing with one. But yeah. And also, this is the card of legacy. You're interested in leaving a legacy. Generational wealth type deal. And it's important to you to know that you will be provided for. And that you can do that on your own. Not that you don't want to share it with others, but you want to see people as a want and not a need. And that's the thing that's crazy to me. It used to trip me out, because I've said that for years. Because to me, I would much rather a guy say that I was a want than a need, because when people need you, they don't technically want your ass around. They need you. You serve a purpose. You're a resource. They need you for money or whatever. Something other than a want. Something other than just, they love you, they want you around. And, but I can remember when I would tell men that they're a want, not a need. They would find that, they would take offense to that. And to me, that was the hugest compliment. I mean, if you're speaking to someone that is evolved, that's woke, it's part of the woke crew, or someone that is that loves himself and that understands what that means. See, so, it's a cycle. It's a cycle that needs to be broken, because our society, it's generational. Because love has been defined based on attachment, on everything toxic. And so whenever, unfortunately, from a systemic level, when people are approached with something that's healthy, if it's a foreign concept to them, and so they see it as a negative, so they push it away. So many people don't have love in their lives because they push it away, because it's a foreign concept to them, because what they identify and what they associate to as love is toxic. And people that see things from that perspective, they're not ever going to be able to attach or be with a healthy person. Because I personally could not be with somebody like that, because it would fuck my energy up. Like, just the way it's just, we're on two different frequencies. We don't even, the way we, because energy is like money. It's a currency. And we're on two different, my stock exchange is on, it's different. I don't know, we're not, would be on two different, I don't know, it just doesn't work. And it's hard to explain that to people who don't understand energy, or even understand where you're coming from. I was asked how someone gets from there to here. And, energetically, because a lot of it's behavioral. But it all starts with the mind. The mind is so powerful. And a lot of people, they have difficulty wrapping their mind around that, because our thoughts control everything that we do. And all toxic behaviors and dysfunction are bad behaviors that we've repeated because we're on autopilot, because it takes time, it takes energy, it takes effort to not only, people think they can change things merely with their thought, but it has to go from a thought to a behavior. You have to care enough to change the way you think, feel, and behave. And when a person can do that, they can manifest. That's when you really begin to be able to manifest, because everything's working together. You'll never manifest anything if you think you're going to go around thinking positive thoughts and it's going to change the world. You can't break cycles with positive thoughts. It's a starting point. But then you have to feel it. You have to want to change. And then you have to be willing to put forth the action. Some people's lives are a series of unfortunate events. Not because they don't know why. It's because they're unwilling to put forth the effort to change the behavior. Break the cycle, change the behavior, because you can. This starts with changing the thought. Anyway, Eight of Pentacles, Virgo. Either you have Virgo on your chart or dealing with one. You're working hard to improve your skills and become a master of whatever you do. Y'all, the master, you are very skilled or masterful. You have a wealth of knowledge in this very specific field. You specialize in something that is of a professional level. Most of you. If not yet, you will be. You may have recently changed work or applying your sheer determination and concentration to master the new skill set that you're learning. So you guys, there's something that you're really good at. It's just, you're natural. You have like a wealth of knowledge pertaining to this, and it's a very specialized field. It's a professional field, and you're respected in your field because of it. But you're adding something to your skill set that you're working to master. See, Aquarians, you guys are quick reads, and so you probably there are probably several things that you're well versed in, or that others might consider you to have mastered your craft in. It takes about 10 years to master a craft, typically. Some are on a shorter learning curve than others, but anyway, whatever this is, you're working on mastering it. And that's the other thing about Aquarians is that and that I love about being Aquarian, but I can see how we get on other people's nerves, because we don't do mediocrity well. We don't half-ass things well, and we don't like people who do, because if you ever ask an Aquarius, that's the reason we're the sign of I know, because we know. We'll make sure we know. You know why? Because we want to know when people ask us. We don't do this, the fake it till you make it kind of bullshit. We ain't about that life. And if an Aquarius doesn't know, they'll say, I don't know. Great question. Let me find out and get back to you. We ain't going to tell you some bullshit that's wrong, because we wouldn't want somebody doing that to us, and we don't respect people that give bad information or wrong information. And plus, Aquarians are nerds. We don't know what we're talking about. If whatever field is our forte, forte, it's going to be our forte. That's going to be our ish. We're going to be your go-to person. But anyway, so you are working on your mastering another skill set. It could be anything. Ain't no telling with y'all. And I say that because you guys are you're very curious. You're very intelligent. So by nature, you're curious. So it's likely has to do with, it's a practical application, has to do with work or something of a practical nature, but not necessarily. Then you got King of Wands, sign of Leo. You're not interested in creativity or in implementing these ideas, but rather you're more inclined to take an idea and enlist others to help you actualize these ideas, as you're stepping into more of a role of a leader, a visionary leader at that, ready to direct your team towards a common goal. You have a clear vision of where you want to go and are now manifesting that vision with the support of those around you. At this time, others naturally gravitate towards you because you're very charismatic, you're focused, and you're determined. And as such, they believe in your vision, because you're so enthusiastic about it. You guys have your personality and your enthusiasm is contagious. An opportunity is presenting itself to you, and you now have the power to take on the challenge, the opportunity, as it were. You are the determining factor in the situation. If you want it to be successful, it will. And equally so, if you do not commit to it fully, this opportunity will struggle to blossom and grow. You can create any outcome you wish right now, any. So be very mindful about your intentions and your vision. You hold the power, Aquarius. It's your choice. However it ends up, be mindful, because I talk about this a lot about instant manifestation, manifesting. You know, once you're a very powerful manifester, you're a magician, as it were, a wizard, magician, whatever, warlock, whatever term you want to use. You learn to manifest instantly. That's why it's very important. Your intentions, your thoughts. It's very important. You do not have the luxury right now to have unmanaged thoughts or intentions, because they will manifest in real time. So your word of caution. Now, in closing, I pulled a divination of the ancients for advice, and you guys got book or knowledge. And the book reads, you're absolutely spot on. Even if others claim otherwise, you're not mistaken. Stick to what you know and understand, for it is correct. It's important that you stand strong in your convictions, even if others have not woken up to the truth of the matter. Some may come around in time, and even if they don't, move forward knowing that you're right. Make sure that you're well read in your chosen subject, as a new and rewarding chapter in your life opens up for you. Gaining fresh information will allow you to be more discerning. Make sure that you read between the lines in any given situation. Trust that which you know and follow it to the letter, for all that you have learned serves you well. Incarnation. I stand my ground with what I know, for 'tis the truth and not for show. I've studied hard. I know what's right. This leads me to my path of light. Other divinatory meanings. Keep what you know to yourself for the moment. Your knowledge in this matter will take you far. You know more than those who oppose you on this. Share your passion for knowledge with others. Read more esoterically themed books. It says, books revealed. Writing first appears in history as early as the 7th millennium BC, marked onto stone, wood, silk, bamboo, wax, clay, and papyrus. Characters and hieroglyphs were used as record keepers of ancient history, myths, and folklore. The destruction of the ancient library of Alexandria by fire resulted in the loss of all the books and scrolls of ancient knowledge it contained. So, you guys, you know what you know. Like as I mentioned, many of you are claircognizant. You know what you know. You know what you know, even if you don't know how you know it. I mean, that happens to me all the time. I don't even know. I have no point of context on what I'm talking about, you know, but like a week later, it makes perfect sense. And I'm like, I didn't even know that, you know, I'll be talking about something I didn't even know I was speaking or it pertained to me until like a week later. You guys know what you're talking about. And others will see that soon enough. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. You can show people better than you can tell them. You guys got the juice. Don't doubt that. So, anyway. I hope you guys found this to be of benefit. I hope you found it insightful, and I hope that it helped some of you in some way. I encourage you guys to engage. If this reading helped you in any way, please comment below. If you guys would like to see different readings, different types of readings, be it love, more spiritually based, whatever. I'm open to your suggestion. Please leave your comments below in that regard as well. Until next time, I hope you have a fantastic November. Have a wonderful evening, and namaste.